Hello, and welcome to the 7th episode of the Kamen Rider Spirit podcast. I'm Zach.
And this is Kay.
And we have a new title card. I kind of drew it just the other day, and I think it looks pretty nice. It has a number and everything, so we don't get confused anymore.
Yeah, that's been an issue in episode podcast, I think 3, 4, and 5, and I think we called 5 number 6.
Yeah, we did. But today we're going to be talking about episode 26 of Kamen Rider Wizard. And there's actually not a whole lot to talk about, to be honest. It was mostly a really goofy episode with very minimal plot. So this is probably going to be a fairly short episode, so enjoy that. But as for the episode, basically it starts off with Nito sitting with himself, kind of eating like he normally does, and complaining about how he's going to be hungry again. And then he sees this girl who looks a whole lot like Medusa. He chases after her, and ends up in this big crowd full of high school girls, and gets really excited because he's a little girl crazy, just a little bit. Haruto, on the other hand, is at the antique shop and gets a new familiar, a little purple guy named Golem, who's really cute, and he's really shy too, so they were kind of contemplating what he could be used for, but we still don't know yet. Probably spy-related things. Back with Nito, he's still chasing after the girl that looks a whole lot like Medusa, or at least the gate that made Medusa, and actually ends up fighting Medusa in the whole chase and everything. He kind of gets wrecked and falls down this hill until, I don't know, until Medusa runs away. Nito goes back to chasing after the girl who looks a little lot like Medusa's gate. And because he was acting a bit like a creepy pervert, he gets arrested, and Shunpei and Haruto decide not to help him. In fact, nobody decides to help him, because he deserves it, I guess. Nobody seems to really like him very much. But Haruto and Shunpei, while Nito's getting arrested, go undercover to the school that the girl goes to. And lots of shenanigans happen. They find out that Medusa has a twin sister, and that sister is the one that looks a whole lot like her. So everything kind of goes crazy from there, and we don't actually know if Medusa's sister is a gate or not, or if she'll be able to fall into despair, but she probably is. And Gremlin is still a creepy shitlord.
I love Gremlin. Shut up.
Also, Shunpei cross-dresses. But this episode was very silly. There's honestly not a whole lot of plot to it, and almost all of it was devoted to jokes one way or another. What did you think of this episode as a whole?
I really liked it. It was funny and it had some plot in it, so it was good. Because I mean, it's cute. It's still going forward because now it's with Medusa, obviously. But then it had a lot of really funny moments that I enjoyed. Also, to make this clear, it might be confusing for people. Mayu is the not Medusa twin, and Misa is the one that's Medusa.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it's both M's and, you know, it gets thrown out a lot. So. What do you say?
The not Medusa twin of the two.
The not Medusa, Mayu.
Yes, Mayu. She actually has this pendant that she keeps with her. It's more of like a charm necklace thing that shows her family and like two identical little girls at the bottom of the necklace, which was a big hint that there was a twin situation. Pretty much the only people who were shocked about the whole thing were the actual characters in the show. It wasn't really a case of the watchers didn't know either. Like, everyone knew except for everyone in the show, I guess.
Okay, so I have to point out this one moment since we're talking about this, but also mostly the funny parts that I've noticed that I don't know if you noticed, but did you notice the part where Haruto, like when Shuppei comes running to Haruto to think, because he thinks Mayu is Misa, a Medusa, and he comes running back with like a shoe, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a shoe, and then he gives it to Haruto, and then she comes and like Haruto grabs the shoe and pretends it's a phone.
Yeah, he just casually puts it up to his ear and doesn't even care. And then he sniffs it and like looks completely appalled.
I was wondering if you noticed that he sniffed it too. I was like, oh my fucking god.
It was a really funny scene because he acts so naturally, just puts it up to his ear like Agent Smart from Get Smart.
I think it's like the shoe was his, like, I wish someone needs to screen cap, like, all of the shoe Haruto pics, because he's just, like, sniffing it, and then, like, he uses it as a phone, and then at one point he, like, puts it, like, cradles it with his head, and I'm just like, oh my god, what are you doing? He literally, like, cradles that phone at one point, and I'm just like, I mean, the shoe, and I'm just like, oh my god, that Haruto, no.
Oh, but, a neat thing, when, the dress-up ring came into the show and became a thing, you actually said that you wanted it to be a ring that kind of let you go undercover for this kind of things. And there was like, oh, it totally does. And I was thinking of you at that point, so it was pretty cool.
When I was watching that part, I thought the same exact thing about the podcast when I talked about it. And I was like, hey... I got what I wanted, and I was right. It's not just a dapper ring. It's like an actual, like, if you need like a disguise outfit, it's right there in that ring. So I'm glad that ring wasn't like a single use ring, and it's gonna be come in handy because it's like a disguise ring for obviously, like, you know, getting through like stuff like that. So hopefully,
I think that's a pretty cool thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm glad it's actually like useful, not just like, hey, I have just a fancy dapper ring. But I mean, that's still cool. But whatever, it has more uses. That's the point. There's another thing I wanted to talk about. I can't remember what it was though. Oh, okay. So what's his name? Gremlin was. In the beginning, this is kind of important because you realize that Medusa doesn't really go after Gates on her own. So that's interesting. But apparently she's like, I have my reasons or something like that. So I wonder what that's about. Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I definitely was wondering what her reasons for it would be. And she seems very suspicious. She doesn't really seem as full frontal and like going after Gates as everyone else seems to be. And part of me wants to think that maybe her Gate is slightly fighting back and making it so she can't really hurt people. But it seems like that didn't really stop her later on in the episode, after that whole talk with Gremlin, because she did attack those 3 girls that turned out to be Miu's friends. So, we will have to see, definitely.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm not sure about that. Maybe you are right. It has something to do with past memories. We're gonna have to find out, because honestly, I can't put my finger on, like, I can't really put my finger on what it could be for her own reasons. At first, I thought the gate was gonna be her twin, but then like that wasn't planned, because if you at the end meeting, she was like, "Oh, so you're my blah 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 sister." That whole confrontation. It didn't seem like she was actual gate, or maybe she's feigning it because it's Medusa. I don't know.
Maybe it seems like the gate was supposed to be one of
the friends. Yeah. And so it's a little confusing. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I really don't have a guess on what it could be, to be honest with you. Like I'm usually good with theories and stuff, but I can't put my finger on it today. Maybe I'm just brain dead or something. Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, we have this upcoming week's episode to look forward to see if we get any answers regarding that.
Yes.
But seeing as like Medusa's whole backstory is coming into play, it's kind of sending up death flags, so she may or may not stay alive much longer. It's kind of up in the air at this point. But that's kind of just a thing that happens in Kamen Rider a whole lot.
Because, I mean, remember the 2 main villains were Medusa and Phoenix, and now Phoenix is gone.
As soon as his backstory came up.
Yeah, as soon as his backstory came up. And then Medusa is all of a sudden her backstory, so it's sending out, like, death flags, like you said. And then, you know what? And then Gremlin's there, right?
Yeah.
So it could be that Gremlin is plotting the deaths of both Medusa and Phoenix, because he's planning something, or he has his own agenda. I'm not sure what it is exactly.
I really don't know either, but I wouldn't be surprised, because he seems like
sneaky.
Yeah, he's so freaking sneaky.
He's really cute, though. Oh my god.
I don't know about that.
It was funny. I liked at the beginning where she's like, "Don't call me Misa," and she's like, "I think it suits you because you're cute and blah blah blah, and I'm cute and blah blah blah." I like how he's all like bumbly and blah blah blah. Yeah, he's a funny little guy. There was one more thing. Oh, okay. Real talk. Let's talk about Shunpei and Drag.
Shunpei was like, he was so confident in his, like, even Haruto was, he slammed the table really hard and was like, "I want to know where you get that kind of confidence," because he was just, Shunpei didn't even think twice. He just kind of did it and was like, "Okay," and went on his way, being undercover and stuff.
I just thought it was so funny because he was so comfortable in that track.
A really funny thing is that, like, later in the episode, like, near the end, Rinko shows up and, like, sees that Shunpei is in drag and just, like, goes, "Oh, you," and they just kind of laugh at each other because, I don't know.
He didn't seem really embarrassed. He's like, "Oh, I'm so embarrassed," but he did it like a very feminine way, and I thought that was really funny.
It was.
But he wasn't like flat out like embarrassed. He was just like, "Oh," and I was just like, "Oh my god, you're enjoying this way too much."
It was adorable. It was adorable.
I thought it's just so funny, Shunpei and Drag, the way he acts. Oh my god, Shunpei, what am I gonna do without you? There's another thing, Nito. When Nito was, he likes girls a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was gonna be a thing, because you don't see a lot of the secondary writers be really, like, into, like, girls. They're just, like, doing their own thing, and have their own agenda, but Nito is, like, all like kawaii and just like, oh, I like all these like the high school girls and stuff, but then he's gotta search for Medusa.
He's like one step away from being like, really a hound dog, just kind of going after every woman that he's... like, going after every single, girl that he sees. He's almost Brock. Almost Brock.
Yeah, but he's not on the level of, like, he hits on them. I think he just really admires cute girls, it looks like.
Yeah, probably. But
yeah,
it's kind of a nice thing about his character, I guess. He's just kind of like, he sees a girl and he's like, oh, you're cute. And then he's like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he realizes what's going on, Nito's a really fun character, and a lot of his quirks are just kind of coming out of, the woodwork the more that we see him.
I really like Nito because I can totally relate to him because I admire cute girls too, so...
As do I.
He tries not to be weird about it, and he doesn't, like, act creepy about it, but he just admires cute girls, and I think I like that quality about him too, so I'm liking him a lot more.
Thing is, though, he did kind of come off as weird and creepy in this episode because he kept on...
Yeah, that was different. That was a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
He was just... Because he was, like, just trying to get to Medusa, who's obviously gonna find a gate and kill someone, so he's obviously doing it for the, like, the better... But, you know, he doesn't know because he's kind of, like, dense.
He's super dense.
He's way dense, so, it's not really his fault because I don't think he realizes what this, like, looks like. And, I hate to be that person, but I think, Nito and Rinko might be a thing, maybe. It kind of feels like it, but I might be totally wrong. But I just think their interactions are really funny. Because she seems kind of jealous at the jail scene. A little bit. Just a little bit. If you saw that. Because she was just like, oh, whatever. Like, you know, leaving him locked in the jail.
There's kind of a questionable reason for why she's also ignoring him. Like, when he got arrested and everything, they bumped into each other at the police station, and she was pretty much like, I don't know this person at all.
I don't know this person.
Like, it could either be that, but it could also be that she just kind of didn't want to get into trouble again because she was already all mixed in with, the whole phantom stuff, and... Well, not... Yeah.
Well,
and
the way she acted, it didn't seem like she didn't want to get in trouble. It seems like she was more upset with him. And I'm not saying it has to be in a ship sense, too, because it could be jealousy. Yes, maybe she does like him. Or it could be just because, like, her friend is a pervert.
Yeah.
And she's like, just leave him there, you know? Like, you know how, like, you have that friend, and then you're just like, he does something, and you're like, help me out, and then you're like, okay, bye.
Yeah, I know how that kind of thing goes. You
know, saying it's a for sure thing. It's just like it could be read either way.
Yeah, it's very up to your interpretation.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like this whole episode was just really silly all the time. That's pretty much all there really is to it. They just kind of snuck around and like used shoes as phones, and that was pretty much the whole episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it was a really good one. It was very entertaining, if nothing else.
For sure. I can't wait for the next one. Before we move on to news, which I will do in a second, I really like the scene where they're just like spying on the friends like Shunpei and Haruto, and Shunpei's in drag, and then like Haruto like just like they're talking serious and he pulls out a donut, eats it, and then Shunpei's like give me like trying to bite it and he's like moving away, and he tries to bite it away.
Oh, but like Shunpei in that scene, Shunpei was kind of just resting his head on Haruto's shoulder and like he was.
I blogged that photo set on Tumblr and I laughed for like 1,000 years.
It like.
Oh my god.
He was just so comfortable in there. So he was so ready for that role.
He really was. Alright, so let's move on to news because I think we covered most of that episode, right?
Yeah.
All of it? Okay, good. Alright, so first up in news, in the Kamen Rider Bat Ride War video game for the PS3, New Den-O and Kaixa are new allies in the game, or are joining as allies in the game. And they're going to help on the Kamen Rider's request on regaining their memories. And last week, the game promo and new game screens for its Chronicle mode have been revealed, where Kuga and through all the riders from Kuga to Wizard fight against all the kaijin from famous places in the series and stuff like that. And I guess I'm not sure who this person is, but Kazuhisa Kawahara is lending his voice for Kamen Rider Decade's Super Apollo Geist. So I'm not sure if he was the original. I don't think so. Maybe
I believe he was the original Apollo Geist.
So he will be lending his voice for Apollo Geist in the game, and it's coming out soon in May 23rd. I think this has been repeated, but just letting people know again. And it's for 7,480 yen, which is a lot. And if you really want to lay down more money for the premium or the soundtracks with the actual like words or the voices in them, you have to put down 10,480 yen. Well, plus middleman fees and shipping and blah blah blah, because this is just the Japan price. So that's to look in mind. And what about you, Rad?
Well, just to be clear, you can buy the game even if you're in the US, because it'll be able to be played on US PlayStation 3s because
it's not
region locked. So that's a pretty exciting thing. You don't gotta wait for that kind of thing. Or actually, you wouldn't be able to wait because it'd never come out here.
That's true. The only bad thing is you cannot get the DLC, and I think that's the only thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't get the DLC.
But you can get the game, the premium version, whatever you want, and so you can get that probably from PlayAsia or whatever middleman or whatever you have. So yeah, check it out.
It's possible that if you wait a little bit, like a special edition with the DLC might come out at some point, but I wouldn't really hold my breath. That kind of thing doesn't really happen with Muso games. But just keep that in mind that it might happen, because people love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As for the news that I'm going to be talking about, we got some pretty unfortunate news this week. The voice for the Shocker leader from the original Kamen Rider series, Goro Naya, passed away at 83 this week. On Monday, actually. It was a really tough thing to hear, because he is a very good voice actor and has done tons of roles, including Inspector Zenigata from the original
oh my god,
Lupin the Third anime. So,
like green or red shirt, or is it both?
I think both. At least for a long while. He got replaced by Kiyoshi Yamadira later on. But he was Zenigata for a long time.
That's really unfortunate, because I love Lupin the Third also. Besides, obviously Kamen Rider, so that sucks to hear.
Yeah, he was a very, very great voice actor, and definitely earned a lot of rest because I've heard that he's put in like tons of work and just tons and tons for years.
Yeah, it's definitely sad to see voice actors like that go. Also, the original voice actor for Lupin passed away like years ago, though, 95. So it was fortunate we got the voice of Zenigata and the voice of that Shocker villain to live for that long, though. It's pretty long.
But that's it, pretty much.
Oh, and that reminds me, didn't the actor of Stronger die last year too? So that was really unfortunate.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate to hear. I think I'm not sure if it passed or it's coming up, but I think the anniversary of his death, like a year, is coming up or passed. I'm not sure. I feel like it was around this time. Maybe I'm wrong, or it was. I can't remember.
I think it was around. Actually, a few weeks ago, because
really?
It might have been around this time because like it happened around the time that
the
Mega Max
earthquake.
came on DVD. That's what I remember. Mega Max came out on DVD and got subbed and everything. That's around the time that it happened, and that was around right now, I think.
Yeah, we should look that up. Anyways, next on our news is Ryu Ranger and more guest stars in the Hikonen Sentai Akiba Ranger. So in there was an Akiba Ranger event a few weeks ago, and it revealed there was the guest stars in the Akiba Ranger Season 2 premiere. And let's see, Yu Kamio, who was Dr. Maki, was shown in the trailer, so I didn't know about that. So Dr. Maki's gonna be in Akiba Ranger, apparently. And, so Keiichi Wada, who is the Ryu Ranger, Gosei Sentai Dai Ranger Ryu Ranger, and then, Sakina Kuai? It's hard to read these in Romanji. If I had these in like katakana, hiragana, I could read them. But Sakina Kuai is from Junin Sentai Geki Ranger, Natsumi Masaki, and wow, these are a lot of people. So Beauty Kokubu, I don't know who that is. Yoshiyuki Ishizuka, Mitsuko Horie, and then Mojo and Yuki Yamagata. I have no idea who these people are, and they didn't give parentheses on who they were in Sentai. So I think those are all guest stars.
It's not very helpful, yeah.
Yeah, it's not giving me all the parentheses like the first two. And then the directors is Koichi Sakamoto, who did Zuden Sentai Kyoruger, and Takayuki Shibasaki from Tokume Sentai Go Buster will also take part in the series of Akiba Ranger. And there haven't been official confirmation on wait, as of writing, there hasn't been official confirmation on these. It was announced during the Superhero Festival that Hikonen Sentai Akiba Ranger will return for its second season with Naruhisa Arakawa written for the series. I don't know who that person has written for. I'm really bad with like writer names and like stuff like that. I only know like main Kamen Rider like actor names and stuff like that, and that's like all I'm good at. And I know Inoue because he's like known for like misunderstandings and stuff like that in series. But anyways, Masato Wada and Karen Ogino reprised their previous roles as Akiba Red and Akiba Yellow, but Akiba Blue will now be played by Shione Sawada, replacing Kyoko Hinami. So that really sucks because
I'm so sad
really
about that.
I really liked Akiba Blue, so I don't remember what was the whole deal on that, but
we still don't know why that happened, but
yeah,
it just kind of did. I don't know. Like again, like I think I said this in the last time that we talked about this, but if you listen to the podcast that Wada was running, at least for a little while after the series, Kyoko had said that she pretty much thought that the first season ended really well and didn't really think that there would be a second season or something. So maybe she didn't really want to come back or had reservations on really keeping the whole thing going. So I think maybe she didn't want to come back through her own reasons, but it could be an executive decision or something like that. I'm just going by what I remember and heard and whatnot. So, what I'm hoping from the character that basically replaces the original Akiba Blue is that she's essentially the same character, and like everyone pretty much thinks that it's just the same character from before.
Oh, really? So you're gonna pretend it's the same person?
Yeah, but like one person in the whole group kind of realizes it and like wonders why nobody else is seeing that there's somebody clearly different there.
That's a funny gag.
It would fit the series pretty well, and I think it would be pretty funny to see.
Yeah, but no, that works out actually. But it's I hate when like one of the main cast has to depart or something like that. It could also be, I don't know, it could also be probably because maybe she signed on to do something else and didn't think there was gonna be a second season or something, and they couldn't get her.
That's also a pretty good reason, I guess.
I mean, because I don't think maybe a lot of people weren't expecting it, you know, so.
That would make a whole lot of sense to me, I think. But that's pretty much it for the Akiba Ranger news. The last news of today is the basically summaries of the next two Kamen Rider novels are out at the moment. Being Kamen Rider Kiva and Kamen Rider Blade. Now, unfortunately for the Kiva fans out there, the Kiva novel seems to be the same kind of thing as the Kabuto, and I think the Ryuki one had this kind of problem, but it seems to be a retelling of the last few episodes from a different perspective, or something along those lines. So there isn't a whole lot more put into the canon of the series. But fortunately for Blade fans, the Blade novel seems to be real interesting. See, what's supposed to happen is that, and spoilers for the ending of Blade, if you have not watched it yourself yet, you really should.
Continuation, or are we gonna spoil it?
I will put like a time when it will be safe to come back into the video, in the video itself. So, look at the video right now, and you'll see that there is a number. Bam! Alright, it was at the bam there. Anyways. Spoilers ahead. Basically, Kensuke has, after he has been turned into the Navy Joker, has lived since that point for 400 years. Meaning that pretty much everyone in the series except for him and possibly Hajime are super dead. So, pretty much the plot of it is that for some reason he ended up on a prison island that holds probably the most dangerous creatures and criminals and whatnot in the Blade universe at that point in time. And also, he doesn't seem to have any memories of his past life, which'll happen to a person after 400 years.
That's a little depressing.
It's pretty depressing.
It's pretty depressing. I'm not gonna lie.
It's also pretty depressing to think about how Hajime is, you know, going to be seeing, like, all of the people around him kind of grow old and die while he's pretty much the same age forever. It's not great. See, even after Blade ends, we get nothing but depression. But yeah, from there, that's the end of the spoilers. You can come back and listen to us say goodbye, I guess. But with that, that's pretty much the end of the news. We'll do plugs real quick, and then I have like one more thing to say, I guess. I'll start. I'm Radical Apologist at tumblr.com. You can find the link in the description of the video, and also on the side of the Tumblr, our personal Tumblr, are there and everything. And I mostly do art, as you can see on the whole title card. I do pretty alright art. And nobody's gonna commission me. And I also kind of just talk about stuff that interests me, and I cry a lot about things I like.
Me too, Rex. Me too.
But that's pretty much it. How about you, Tay?
Well, I'm just Tumblr user. I don't want to die. You can send me messages or blah 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 blah, and that's pretty much it. And oh, I really want more Kamen Rider blogs to follow, and gore. So if you have gore, I like that.
Yeah, she's all about the horror and kawaii gore and stuff.
I like my blog is like Kamen Rider, gore, and like sweets.
And Evangelion.
Oh my god, yes, and a lot of Evangelion. Did you call it jelly? Okay, you know what? No, I know that meme. Yeah. I have Evangelion and Homestuck here there too, but yeah, if anyone has blogs or any stuff I like, go ahead, send me a message and I'll follow you and stuff, because I like art and things.
Yeah.
I like how I explain myself, art and things.
Art and like, stuff and junk.
Art and stuff. I'm like Rick from Walking Dead. Hi, me, my blog. I like art and stuff and things.
There's one last thing that I do want to talk about before we actually sign off. Do you do art and stuff? Do you like showing people that you do art and stuff? Do you like making Kamen Riders that have already been made but are also fan-made and stuff? We're basically gonna be plugging artists if they make title cards for us using our design for our mascot Kamen Rider, which you are seeing right here, named Kamen Rider Forte. He used to be Kamen Rider Beat, but that was a stupid name, so I changed it. So, if you do art, and you'd like more people to know that you do art, and also really like this show and would like to contribute and stuff to it, just send us all your art and everything on our Tumblr, and we will use it and plug it to any art outlets that you have that you'd like us to give to people. And it'll be great, and it'll be amazing. If we don't get any extra title cards or anything, we'll just kind of use this one and everything, because it's a pretty good one. I like this title card.
I do too. You should make a secondary rider at one point. When we get to like a certain number of podcast episodes, you should make a secondary rider, just like how like Kamen Rider works. You know how like you get to the when you get to the double-digit episodes, they make a secondary rider?
Yeah, we can't do it until episode 16, at least.
16? Okay.
It's always 16.
Is it? No.
It's almost always 16 that the second rider comes
15? Up. No, because didn't Birth come out in like 13?
Nope, like 16.
God. Okay, you know what? After this podcast, I'm gonna look that shit up, and I'm gonna say it on the next episode. I'm gonna write a list.
Alright.
Alright, anyways,
we will see.
This episode before me and Rad duke it out and I kill him.
Okay. Going down.
Yeah, I just I just like admitted to the whole podcast that I'm gonna like murder you.
It's recorded. This is
evidence.
proof of
I
manslaughter.
get, like, a warrant for my arrest or something like that. Anyways, we should really end it right now because I gotta go to work. I just realized.
All right, let's. This has been Zach.
And this is Tay.
And have a good night. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.